Hello, my friends. Today I'm talking with you about the differences between a microdose and a macrodose, so a big dose. So the first difference, quite obviously, is the dosage. Whereas with a microdose, this is all dependent on sensitivity. So a microdose is about 0.05 of a gram, so 50 milligrams, up to 0.3 of a gram, 300 milligrams. And a big dose, again, depending on sensitivity, starts at about a half gram and up to 5 and beyond, depending. The 3.5 grams is usually the typical heroic dose where folks can go into ego dissolution. And it all depends on sensitivity. And I recommend, if you are new, and even if you aren't new, to go slow. Different varieties have different potencies. And it's all about building a relationship with yourself, building a relationship with that particular medicine, and creating trust. Going into these places of the unknown doesn't have to be rushed, right? Really go at the pace of trust. You'll get a lot more that way instead of just white knuckling it through. And that's not how we heal. So with a microdose, it's something that you bring into your life, perhaps a couple months, a few months at a time, perhaps every other day, perhaps 3 days in a row or 4 days in a row with a 3-day break. And over a period of time, you will get slight shifts in your reality and your perspective. And these slight shifts in perspective transform our life. It's very gentle, and depending, it can bring stuff up, but the dosage itself, a proper microdose, is gentle. You can do your human stuff, going to the store, picking up the kids, doing what you do, and with a big dose, you gotta set aside, quite a significant amount of time, at least 8 hours, but a whole day to prepare your space, prepare your mind, prepare your intention, and then the experience itself, and then the rest period, the integrate, the afterglow, the like, whoo, I'm back, depending if you went anywhere. This depends on the medicine itself and also your dosage. Again, nothing to race. And so over a very short period of time, hours, you can literally leave this reality as we know it, leave your identity, forgetting your gender, forgetting your humanness, forgetting your roles, right? And or more so being freed of them. And going to a place of much different perspective. And this place of much different perspective is a place of freedom and a place of creation. And, ego dissolution, depending on dosage, and nothing to race to, okay? And with ego dissolution, it could come in many different forms. It could be the typical melting into earth and remembering and feeling your oneness with all, and getting there. My friends, getting there could be quite scary when you start losing all sense of who you are. And that is why a safe mindset, setting your environment. That's why it is so important. Trust. You gotta trust. You gotta feel safe. Nothing to force. For some people, the ego dissolution can look like turning into a 3-year-old temporarily, or having the perspective of a dog, being able to travel to different areas of your life, and being able to do past life work. And again, it all depends on your intention. And, they're not going to take you to a place of past life work if that's something you're like, no, I don't do that. Yeah, they will take you to, they meet you where you're at and expand on that. And anything more I want to share with the microdosing, macrodosing? Oh, yes. So after a big dose experience, it can be a little hard to bring that back into your regular life. And microdosing a couple weeks after a big dose experience can be very helpful to continue integrating the messages, integrating your experience, instead of it just being a far out experience that at some point just feels like a dream and doesn't transform your life. So both the microdose and the big dose is important, although the big dose is not for everyone. And the microdose is just as powerful and transformational. It takes a little bit more time, but there is no magic ticket. I've looked for it. All right, my friends. If you have any questions, you can reach out at any time, and blessings.